In the world of global business, there are some concepts that are, well, famously misunderstood. And right at the top of that list is Japan's Keiretsu. Today, we're going to decode this incredibly powerful model and show you exactly why it's making such a huge comeback on the global stage.
And that really brings us to the central question, doesn't it? It's a bit of a paradox. We're in an era of constant, unprecedented disruption. So why are business leaders all over the world suddenly looking back at a 70-year-old post-war Japanese model for answers? What does the Keiretsu know that the rest of us are just now figuring out?
And look, this isn't just some academic theory. You can see what international analysts are saying right now. Floated.com, for example, boils it down to one powerful outcome: pure, unadulterated supply chain efficiency.
And it's not just them. A priori.com points to the same thing, highlighting that deep, almost seamless coordination between a company and its suppliers. You know, that's a level of collaboration that most global firms can only dream of right now.
And I think Fiveable.me really hits the nail on the head here. This isn't just about moving boxes from A to B. It's a strategic framework, one that's deliberately designed to drive both innovation and efficiency at the same time. That combination, well, that's the powerful engine that fueled Japan's post-war economic miracle.
So that leads us right into our first section, the supply chain paradox. We're going to explore how this model, which was once criticized for being too closed off, might just be the key to building a truly resilient global supply chain today.
All right, so let's get down to it. What exactly is a Keiretsu? Well, to really get it, we have to look past the kind of transactional price tag relationships that dominate so much of Western business. We need to dive into a world of deep, strategic partnerships. And you can see the fundamental difference right here. The standard model on the left, it's all transactional. It's about the short term, it's driven by price, and there's very little real integration. But the Keiretsu model, it's completely relational. It's about long-term partnership, creating shared value, and deep, deep strategic integration. It's a whole different ballgame.
So at its very core, a Keiretsu is a framework built on deep involvement and mutual trust. Just think about the legendary Toyota production system. That wasn't just about Toyota buying parts for the lowest price. No way. It was about co-developing technology with their suppliers, sharing strategic roadmaps, and creating this unified, innovative ecosystem where everyone wins.
But here's the thing. The Keiretsu isn't some relic stuck in the past. It has evolved, and it's still evolving. So now let's look at how these traditional closed circles are transforming into what we might call open webs to compete in the modern global economy.
So this is the classic Keiretsu you might have read about. It was this pretty insular ecosystem held together by a complex web of cross-shareholdings. Group companies would own stakes in each other to solidify their alliances and basically keep outsiders out. The entire focus was on internal efficiency. External collaboration, almost unheard of. Now, contrast that with a modern network. It's an open, collaborative web. We're seeing the rise of the digital Keiretsu, where companies use shared data platforms to build these deep global partnerships. And through something called international vertical alliances, Japanese firms are now tapping into the best of the global value chain, partnering with specialists from all over the world. The goal isn't just internal efficiency anymore, it's all about global resilience.
Okay, so this all brings us to the most crucial question, right? How can you actually apply these principles in your own business? In our final section, we're going to unpack the global playbook for building your own Keiretsu-inspired supply chain.
What's amazing is how universal these core principles are. I mean, think about agile development in the tech sector, with its intense feedback loops between client and developer. That's a perfect example of Keiretsu-style collaboration. Or in the service industry, empowering your frontline staff with shared data so they can be more flexible. That's a direct application of this trust-based philosophy. And of course, strategic joint ventures are really just modern purpose-built Keiretsu.
So the key takeaway is really this. It's a fundamental shift in your mindset. You have to stop seeing your suppliers as just vendors and start treating them as true strategic partners. The challenge, of course, is how do you measure the value of a relationship that deep? Well, it means you need a whole new set of KPIs. You have to forget about chasing short-term unit cost. Instead, you start measuring the things that create real, long-term value. Things like supply chain resilience, improvements in quality across the entire chain, and maybe most importantly, your joint rate of innovation. These are the metrics that really define a co-creative partnership.
So we'll leave you with this one challenge. Take a hard look at your own operations and ask, is your supply chain built for yesterday's cost-cutting games, or is it built for tomorrow's co-creation? Because in this increasingly uncertain world, the answer to that question is going to be what separates the leaders from the laggards.